H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys supports 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus. One-time pay, lifetime access to live classes and videos. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For free demo class, visit h2kinfosys.com.
You are using, so you should know about how to connect to the database and ability to write or retrieve, or do some manipulate DML operations. And you should understand functional flow of the application, that is called business requirement, business knowledge. And you should be good in table or column level constraints or ability to understand complex queries depending on application complexity. So you should also have some fair idea on understanding how to understanding complex queries. So as a database tester, okay. So you need not write them, but you need to understand if you're asked to see the code. Okay, but don't worry, this happens 5% of the projects where the project is very demanding. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So all of you might be hearing the terminology black box testing and white box testing. So anyone wants to add on that? I came to the previous slide again. Anyone wants to add what is black box testing and what is white box testing? Anyone from the QA course can add point here? Yeah, Ananya, go ahead.
I am not much knowledge in it, but I'm trying.
Yeah.
White box is something that the code should be visible, and mostly developers do that.
Perfect.
And
yeah.
Testing where we cannot see the code, and the tester should do it.
Perfect.
Without seeing what is there inside.
Perfect. So thank you very much, Anya. That's perfect. So white box testing, developers will do it normally, but nowadays even QAs are also comfortable to do white box testing, but very rarely. And black box testing is you don't care about the code, you'll only worry about functionality. Yeah, so I got the same message from Chandra as well. So white box testing is for code and black box testing is for functionality. Okay, now
I want to know a little bit about gray box testing because sometimes there are job requirements for that. So it's possible it's not visible, but still it's visible. It's not clear to me.
Okay, even I have no idea on gray box testing, but I'll refer it. Maybe in the next class I'll cover it to you. Okay, so I'll explain in the next class about gray box testing. Okay, now so yeah, I think you already have knowledge on this. Let me show you some points on this. So if you see here, black box testing, QA need not worry about the code of the SPs or how they have implemented. So you don't care about anything related to code in black box testing. So give inputs, check whether the output is coming properly or not. That's all. So you don't care about functionality, you don't care about code, you don't care about how it was written inside. Just log into the application, give some input, see the output. That's all. Whether the input and output, taking input properly and giving the output, that is what is called black box testing. And that primarily black box testing is done using UI screens. Okay, and white box testing is something like where you need to understand how the code is implemented, you need to understand the structure of tables, you need to know how the columns are defined. All those things as a tester should verify. For example, you need to know what are the columns. All the columns have been created as per the design document. What you should do, you know. I'll tell one scenario which happened in our project. So we started a project from the scratch, and in database design we have a design document which is having list of all tables and list of columns and the data types. Now the developers, when creating tables, they will do some typos. Instead of varchar 10, they will do varchar 20. So in that case, what we will do is we will ask a QA person to validate whether all the tables or columns have been created as per the design document. So this is something called white box testing, because you are looking into the column level, column data types and all. So where you are looking the structure of the data. So you're not looking for the functionality, you're looking for the structure of data. So you're logging into the editor, code editor, and you are seeing inside that. So that is one simple example of white box testing. So even testers should do that. So that is called white box testing. White box testing is, you will look into the code, you will understand the flow, you will see how the joins or something is written inside. Okay. So, but normally developers will do it, but very rarely, if the functionality is simple, testers are also asked to do white box testing. Okay. So that is about black box testing and white box testing. Now, what is the difference between structural database testing and functional database testing? So now we'll try to understand what is structural database testing and functional database testing. So anyone wants to add on this? And I came to previous slide. Anyone wants to add what is structural database testing and functional database testing? The name itself tells it. Anyone can add points on this. So this is theory today, so I want to make it interactive. So anyone wants to add points on that? If you see here, this is what we are saying: structural database testing and functional database testing. Okay, let me add to it. So like I said before, structural database testing is not testing for the functionality, you are testing for the structure of database tables. So like I said before, from the database design document, you need to verify whether the tables are created according to the design document, whether the columns have been added as per the data types present in the design document. So in that case, what you as a tester, what you need to do, you need to take the design document and verify all the tables and columns whether they are there as per the structure mentioned in the design document. Okay, that is called structural database testing. You're not testing the functionality here, you're only testing the structure of the tables or the structure of the columns or the data type of that. So this is called structural database testing. And something called functional. So structural database testing is normally done while starting the project, as well as when you get a design change, and where developer is asked to change the column name from, I have a first name column which has, while designing initially we put varchar 15 in the first name, but later on they realize that some of the customers have their names greater than 15. So wherever in all the tables, wherever we have first name, they asked to change from varchar 15 to varchar 30. So how tester will test it in all the tables? So that type of testing is called structural database testing. You are not testing the functionality here, but you are testing the structure of the table, structure of the column. So that type of testing is called structural database testing. And when you test for the functionality, whether the edit functionality or delete functionality or whatever functionality is happening properly, that is called functional database testing. Okay. So I think, is it clear, right? Is it clear what is the difference between structural database testing and functional database testing? All of you? So can you list all the queries of structural database testing? So okay, let's see what is there in the slide. Okay, so structural database testing, we test for table or column validation, data types of the tables as per the detail level design document, and we also verify for constraints validation. For example, we saw that we learned about constraints, say for example not null constraint, or say for example check constraint, where we verified that the age of a person should be less than 25. So whatever, so we can use system tables like sys.objects or sys.columns for doing structural database validation. So these are some of the typical examples where you are asked to test, you're asked to do structural database testing: table or column validation, data types, constraints validation. Okay. And for functional database testing, we normally test for the actual functionality or data flow. That is anyway called regular testing. Regular testing which we do, that is called functional database testing.
Another question.
Yeah, go.
Like, how do they do tables like system objects? Like, what is supposed to do if you have to write queries like sys.object?
Okay.
What kind of queries we then how exactly we do testing?
Yeah,
Validation.
yeah. I think you missed the previous class, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we covered this in the previous class. Okay, I'll quickly summarize on this. Say for example, I got a requirement where I have to change the data type of a column to varchar 15 to varchar 20. So now I'll quickly summarize for the benefit of like we covered this in the previous class, but I'll just summarize on that. Say for example, I have products table and I have orders table. So now I got a requirement where I want to change the product name from varchar 20 to varchar 25. Okay, so if I have some 500 tables in the database, I cannot expand all the tables, 500 tables, and verify which table is having product name. So it will be extremely difficult. For that reason, what I can do is I can write a query. So I can write a new query and I can verify like this. Select, first I will see in sys.columns what are all the tables I have product name. Select star from sys.columns where name, like I'm going to write here percentage and I'm going to write here product name. Let me execute this. So if I see here, I have product name in two objects. So this object ID will tell you which tables you have product name. So now you need to verify, you need to go to, so what developer will do, developer will also do like this. Developer also will get this object IDs. Now once you get the object IDs, copy those object IDs and keep it safely here. Now go to sys.objects. So select star from sys.objects where object ID in, use this in and put a comma here and then execute this to get your table names. So I have columns, two tables, one is products and I have a view here. So if you see here, this type is U, that means user table. I have a user table which is products and I have a view which is m_report which is also having column product name. Now you need to verify any view, you don't need to care about data type, but you need to modify in the products table. Now how to see in products table? So you need to write sp_help products products and then you need to execute this. Once you execute this, you are seeing varchar 20. See here product name varchar 20. Now you can tell to developer that I still see 20 only, you have not modified to 30. So this is what this is called structural database testing, where you are testing for the column size varchar 20. So I repeat again, you got a requirement saying that product name present in all the tables to be modified to varchar 20 to varchar 30. Now developer will do his research and he changes all the columns. For example, what he will do is he will go to right click on this, he will click on design. We don't care how he will do it, but yeah. So right click on this design and then he changes this to varchar 30. Say for example he is changing to 30. And now he closes this and he tells that he okay, so it is not allowing, but still you don't need to worry about. See now when I execute this, it is still showing 20. So in the previous class we saw alter table. Anyone remember in the previous class alter table products, alter column? We saw that product name varchar 30. So let me execute this. Now if you see sp_help products, you can see that the column has been changed to 30. So first you need to you don't need to expand tables, individual tables, to verify which tables are having product name column. Run this query sys.columns, that will show you all the tables. After that, get the object IDs and then verify in the sys.objects table to get the names of the objects, and then verify in this table. That is enough. So you don't need to expand. If you have 500 tables, you don't need to verify table by table to get the column name. Is it clear now, Kavita? Okay. Okay. So that's what we planned for today. In the next class, we will see module 2. Even we already covered this, but we'll learn about module 2, and we'll also start with module 3. And then I think in the next class we will be using templates. I'll share you. I have around 3 to 4 templates for database testing, Excel sheets, which you can use it in your project, real-time projects. So we will see how to do that. So we're done with module 1, and the previous class recording, I had some issue. The moment I stopped the recording, I got an issue like error has occurred, and some recording has not happened. So whatever we discussed in the previous class, I could not record it, but still I'll try to cover it sometime later. And this is what we covered: sys.column, sys.objects, and sp_help, sp_help text. Okay, so that's all for today. We will join in the next class to discuss on module 2 concepts, which is little bit theory and little bit using templates. Okay, so we got one. Sure. This is important. Yeah, I understand. So I will explain it again in the last class. Okay, so maybe beginning of the next class I will explain for some time on sys.column, sys.objects and all. Okay, so that's all for today. In the next class we will be learning about module 2. We will have a PPT for that as well, and then we'll learn about how to write test cases, how to okay. So yeah, any other questions here?